Knife dope. More dope. Come and get your fix. What's up, fuckers? Your boy's back with a fresh batch of dope. Knife dope. That's right, people. The hits don't stop. Y'all remember this beauty? Otherwise known as the winning submission for the most recent Knife Mod Mayhem Challenge. That's right, your boy won. Although there was a little bit of controversy, as there was a tie for first place, allegedly. I ended up tying with Mr. Neil from Night's Edge. Great guy, but he should not have tied me. I should have been the sole winner for that competition. But I don't mind sharing the crown. It'll be a temporary thing. As the next round of mods, I'm coming even stronger than this. Now, this was hard to beat, but congratulations to him and to everyone else who competed. We had a great time. Got a lot of you viewers submitted some builds. Very, very impressive. So it feels good to know that modding is a universal love. And speaking of modding, I just had 2 knives touch down, which were sent to Mr. Alfred at AR Customs. And so without further ado, let's get to the dope. Now, if I'm being honest, I've been very anxious awaiting these knives. I had sent these knives out to Mr. Alfred way back in April, and he had forewarned me. He told me that he was, his books were pretty much full. I kind of forced these on him, and he, graciously accepted them. So, nothing against the time in regards to that. But let's see what it is we got. We got 2. This one we're going to go over last, as this was a knife that I never got to share with y'all. But this is one y'all should be very familiar with. This is the Quiet Carry Drift OG rendition. Now, looking at it, you might not notice. You're probably wondering, what the hell did he have modded? I actually had a skiff bearing upgrade mod on this one. So if you're familiar with the drift, traditionally they are on washers. The only drift that is not on washers is the LC version, but the OG and the large is on washers. And I wanted better action, My large drift has fantastic washer action. It's broken in lovely. There's no need for me to mod this one. But if I'm being honest, the OG drift, I polished the washers, I stropped the washers. I mean, I did it all. It just never gave me that drop shut action, which we all fiend over. But now with this bearing mod, we're gonna check it out. Woo! D10 is dialed the fuck in. Now wait for it. Shit. I love it. I love it. I love it. I tell you, the D10 even got a little bit better, a little bit more crisp. And I'm sure that's got something to do with the gliding of those skiffs. Just even the acoustics. Listen to it. Oh, you motherfucker. So now there's a dilemma. Now I don't know what's my favorite quiet carry anymore. Recently I had put this one as my favorite, which is the Rincon. Still up there, definitely top 2. But man, has this OG drift just kind of propelled itself to the front of that line. Blown away by this Mr. Alfred. If you haven't tried Alfred for any mods, I highly suggest you do. And at the very least, check him out on IG to see the work he's capable of at AR_customs, I think. This is an older sticker. I think it says Knife Mods. But just look up AR Customs. You'll find them. But great job from Mr. Alfred once again. And that is knife 1 of the returning mods. Okay, this second one, or this last one for today's video, is actually a knife that I ended up getting right before sending it to Mr. Alfred. And I had never shared with you guys because I had some issues right out the gate. This was a trade I did back with Mr. Don Farmer of D&K Knives. And this is the D Rocket Designs Loom Leaf folder. Now, typically I do not like to spend any money with D-Rocket. I'm not a fan of the gentleman or his business practices, but I got this in the secondary, so in theory, I put no money in his pocket directly. But there was more to it than that. This is actually an homage to one of my favorite Spydercos of all time. That, of course, is the Spyderco Little Chinese Folder. Now, this is a design from the late, great Mr. Bob Lum, iconic designer, iconic knife maker. I think he's probably most known for his collaboration with Spyderco. Got this one sometime in 2022. Never really finds the pocket, but this is just more of a collector piece for me. But I wanted more, you know. I wanted a bigger version of this knife. They have one called just the Loom folder. Hard to find. And so when I found out that D-Rocket was doing this one, it immediately caught my attention. These came in at $350. These are allegedly USA made, so that's a plus as well. We've got single form of deployment, which is a nice cutout. Now, originally, this was a black PVD, but I had sent this out, like I mentioned, to Mr. Alfred for some mods. The whole reason for the trip was that when I sent it to him, originally this knife comes with T6s in the pivot. Dumb decision on the company for doing that. Not only that, they're very shallow, so it immediately stripped when I tried to disassemble it. And so therefore I sent it to him to give me a new pivot, which he did. Unfortunately, in doing that, he had scratched the black PVD on the titanium. And so therefore I didn't have much of a choice. I had to get a new finish. So I actually had him do a Zerk Blast, which I think looks fantastic. Let's check it out. Woo! D10 is dialed the fuck in. Now look at this little blade, people. 6.5 inches is the overall length, so just in my sweet spot at the very bottom part of it. Of that, we've got 3 inches in this wonderful leaf-shaped blade. Gorgeous stonewash finish. We are rocking S90V. Steel of the gods. Bolster lock is the locking mechanism. This is riding on washers, but man, oh man, is it glassy, glassy smooth. We've got 125 thousandths blade stock thickness, crown, spine, high flat grind. Add all that up, and what do we got? She's a slicey hoe. Now, I'm not really digging the location of this pocket clip. It is right-hand tip up, and it seems to be riding right along the side of the spine. It does kind of give me a little bit of a hot spot, you know, not so much of a hot spot, but just a little bit of irritation. So that's not digging that. 2.4 ounces is the weight, so nice lightweight carry. Blade to handle ratio is pretty goddamn good. You know, we've got 3 inches on the blade length, and then overall 6.5. So very, very well done as far as that goes. You know, if I'm being honest, the D-Rockets, they do have some pretty cool designs. So I can't hate on that aspect of it. I just, like I mentioned, just not a big fan of the individual. All right, now let's go ahead and put some knives up for some size comparison. Basically, a little bit of knife flexing. You know how the fuck we do. Gotta roll with America first. We're gonna start like this. The McNeese Mac 2, 3-inch rendition. Then we're gonna go with this one. The only D-Rocket knife I've ever bought, and quite possibly the only one I ever would buy. That is the Jupiter. So here we see the Loom Leaf folder up against those. Let's do a couple more, shall we? How about my favorite small pocket knife of all time? That, of course, is the Spyderco Little Native. Then we've got this one, the Concept Wraith. Did not expect to like that knife as much as I have. It has stuck around for the most part of the year. So here we see the Loom Leaf folder up against those. Let's do 2 more. God damn it, 2 more. How about the Wee Banter? Another iconic small carry knife. And then last but certainly not least, recent acquisition. We're gonna rock out with the Vosteed Acorn. So here we see the Loom Leaf folder up against those. So definitely a small pocket knife, but it's got good quality materials, allegedly USA made. Not sure if it's one of those situations where, you know, 50% of the knife was put together here or sourced here, and therefore they can call it USA made, or if it's 100% USA made. I guess we got to take him at his word. He's a very, what's the word I'm looking for? Very mysterious person. You know, he doesn't really release none of his OEM information, which seems to be the norm nowadays. But yeah, that is the Loom Leaf folder. And of course, we got this one that just stepped up the game. And that is the Quiet Carry Drift, now rocking bearings. Well, there we have it, people. 2 knives returning home to daddy. But more importantly, I want to know what you fuckers think. Are you fans of these mods? Tell me all about it. Love you, mean it. Until the next time. Cut something, cut someone. Just don't cut yourself. Stay dangerous, fuckers!